Good morning. This is Gregory, and this is Thursday, which is the third segment of the documentary that I'm doing. I call it documentary, but it's kind of a story, a transformation, um, uh, journey to AGT. And basically, what it means is that right now I am in the process of auditioning. And at this point, I am a newbie. Okay, I don't know what to expect. I'm kind of putting it out there to show how I am before I find out. It could be nothing at all. Okay, but that's fine. You can only be a newbie one time, and I figured if I could do this documentary, and even though I can't share it yet, uh, it'll show my journey. I'm sitting in a car on a Walmart parking lot. I've been doing my rehearsals before I go to work, which means I go on the platforms of Star Maker and Smule. Those are karaoke places, but it's a place where I can actually sing and get some exposure and get some practicing done. And the support that I've been getting is phenomenal. And it really has helped me to get my rehearsals, my practice. Because when you're singing, you need to sing pretty much every day. And I do that. I do a couple hours a day, about 2 to 3 hours a day singing. And you have to give it a rest all the time. So I don't sing much on the weekends. But I can tell when I do rest because my voice is a lot stronger. If I do it every single day and I wear it out, that's no good. And there are supplements to take uh, to make sure that you get a good, I would say, diaphragm breathing. Because I have sinuses. I have sinus that has problems. I have lots of things that could go wrong that needs to be cleared up before I can actually do some singing. I'm sitting down. Normally, you're not supposed to be sitting down when you're singing because you can't really breathe. Um, you're trying to breathe and you're sitting down. It's kind of hard. But once I get on stage, I'm standing, and there you go. All right. So if I can do this sitting down, I can definitely do it standing up. And I've got this microphone that's plugged into my cell phone. It's a unique gadget. I got it off the Amazon. It's called an iRig. Let me show you here. It's an iRig. And you plug it into the phone. And I have an Android. I also have an Apple, but this plugs into um, my Android. And once you plug it in, it gives you a passport where you can plug your headphones in. That's why I got these earbuds in so I can hear what's going on when I'm singing or when I'm whatever. Sometimes you can hear, depends on the app that you're using through the earbuds, or you know, okay. I'm going to have to turn that off. I can get my notifications. That's another thing you have to prepare for. If you're going to do a virtual reality audition, you don't want notifications coming up over the phone. And that's one of the problematics in doing on something on a phone is you get all these reminders and notifications and you're starting to go and all of a sudden you get this pop-up. It's like, hey, YouTube's got a new show going on. Well, I don't want to know that right now. So we're going to be changing that today. This is at least like a rehearsal. So basically, what I am doing is preparing for my audition. Um, I got to pick a place to do it. Obviously, I'm not going somewhere to do the audition, so I could either do it at home or in a parking lot. I don't want to be bothered at that time, and I don't know how long I have to wait for the audition to start. I know I have to be there at a certain time, you know, get that started, and then you got to wait time, you got to process time. You probably have to do about a day ahead of time. You have to do the paperwork and send it up. I can do that. I'm pretty good computer tech savvy, so that's doable. So basically, what I got to go through is do a list of songs that I know without any problem. And I know about I'm going to say about 400 songs. And I can sing any song a cappella that I have sang before. It's just something I can do. And any style, any genre. I don't do pop. I don't do rap, is what I'm saying. And I don't think I do too much of jazz. Uh, but anything else, I'm pretty darn into it. Acid rock, I don't do. I do some rock and roll, uh, classics, big band, countries, blues, swing, reggae. You have to have a little diverse menu, because when you're going into this stuff, you don't know what you're going to be singing. You don't know what they're going to choose, because when you get down into the next level, instead of you choosing a song to audition with, they choose, basically, I'm just saying, it might be a list that you have to select from. Okay. So I don't know what the list is. So I gotta have to kind of, you know, bog down and try to see if I can do a variety of different songs, just in case what's on the list. um, so that has to be done. You have to pick up the song, do about, I'm going to say, I got about 10 songs that are possibles. Okay. Your audition song, you have to have at least 2 to 3 of them available, because they might ask you to sing another one. Hey, sing another one? Uh-oh. If I didn't have another one, I'd be kind of missing. So, you gotta sing another one. Okay. Or they didn't like that one song. I've heard it a million times before. Please sing a different song. That type of stuff. I mean, you think about it. 18 seasons, and all these people auditioning, that song's got to come up more than once and whatever. But if they hear it a million times, they just don't want to hear it again. Oh, gee. No matter how great the song is, it's just like once you hear it, here comes that song again. And it's hard to be objective when you hear it a million times. So that's what you have to really think of is, has this song been oversung? And is it something that I can do that is different from somebody else? Which I know this one song that I'm going to be doing for the audition is what I call my signature song, which is "And I Love You" by Perry Como. It's an option. It's a great song. It's been sticking with me for a long time. It's in my head all the time. So I can sing that. You can also, like I said, you have to have a variety. What I do with getting a variety is I go onto my social media platforms to sing, and I have a computer generate a list of songs that I could choose to sing, and I just choose a song that's out of there, and it follows an algorithm. I don't know what the algorithm is, you know. I just figure if it can choose songs at random and I can pick one and do it well, then that's a good practice for me. So I'm doing that. I also am researching different places I might have to go. I might have to go to Pasadena. I might have to go to Los Angeles. I might have to go to Hollywood. I might have to go to Las Vegas. And so I'm watching and researching those different places, what the building looks like. Look on the map and see where it's located. What's it nearby? If there's any videos describing the place, showing me a walkthrough of the place. Get really familiar with where that is, because if you don't do that and you go somewhere you don't know, you feel a stranger. Okay, you're like, oh man, where am I? I don't know where I'm at. But if you did your research and you did your homework and you researched the place, the fast foods, the eats, the people around, different events that goes on, the history, but then once you get there, you recognize it. It's like, oh, I know this place. Okay, so you get that familiarity, and that's really helps you. And that's what I have done for a lot of it. And now that I've done the research, now going back and watching the shows, I can recognize the place. It's like, oh yeah, I know where that's at. You know, oh yeah, there's that chair. Look at the roof. Oh yeah, I've seen that roof before. So yeah, I get really familiar with the place. And I research a lot on YouTube. I research a lot from previous people that have auditioned before. Okay, listen to what their takes in. It's like, hey, how did it go? What should I be expecting? So there is a lot of information out there, and you have to really do your homework to get comfortable. So you can do, because once you get there, here's another strategy. Once you are auditioning, this mind has to be focused on one thing, and that is to sing. And what I mean is, you can't be deciding what you're going to do at that point. It has to be just, okay, audition. You have to have the mindset that you know what you're doing. You're not going to think twice about it. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm doing. And no reason whys or whatever. It's just basically, this is it. Because you don't want your mind to be thinking as you're performing or auditioning, because it takes that presence in the audition to somewhere else. And your focus should be right at that point. Okay? Right at that point where you're auditioning and nothing else. Okay? Because that's the focus. Beforehand, do your homework, think about your strategies, think about what you're going to do, think about, okay, what should I say, what is kind of my backstory, what if certain things they ask me questions of, What am I going to answer? And then when you get to the audition and you start, you only got 90 seconds. That's when you turn everything else off. Don't think. That's easy for me. Don't think. And just go for it. Once you're done, okay, then you can come alive and say, hey, okay, this is me. This is what I was. And you listen. You don't judge the judge. Don't be your own critic and say, you finish song, oh, I'm sorry I messed up. I wasn't that good. I want to do it again, No. Don't be your own critic at the end. Just take it. If they liked it, oh, thank you very much. If they didn't like it, oh, okay. But don't judge the judge, and don't take it so critical. I mean, if they didn't like you, don't just jump off the cliff and say, I can't do this. No, don't do that. No. Your life isn't over. Your career isn't over just because you didn't make the AGT. Okay? Just the fact that you're there and you're auditioning, that's the only step that you need to do. And once you go through that process, then you go into the next journey. It's a whole new journey. When you get past that gate, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm processing right now. But when it comes to January 11th, I will be there. I will audition. No questions needed. No thinking. Here I am. And just go for it. Jump in. Get off the couch. Open that door of opportunity. And come right on in. All right, I'll talk to you later for the 4th day of how to prepare. Probably the next part is a little more into the details. But I'm also going to do probably a setup of how I'm going to set up the audition as far as the sound, the equipment, what I'm going to do to see if I can't get it recorded on my side. I would love to have it recorded, just for me, for records. I know I can't share it until probably about a year after that. Because whether you go forward or whether you don't, you have to sign the confidentiality before you audition. So they got you for a whole year. It's like, you can't do that. You can't talk about it. Oh, okay. You can share some of the details to your boss. I found that out. You can't do that. So my boss knows. My CEO of the company knows, because they're really going to play on it because they need the promotion. They like that stuff. I'm a retail merchandiser. I work for Anderson Merchandising, and we do services of the big retail stores. And this is just going to play right into it to where, no matter what I'm going to do, if I go forward, I'm going to have some new friends. They might be looking for me for opportunities, but doors will be opening. And it's not basically just going to the AGT and auditioning. It's connecting, and people will discover you along the way. So the journey is always going to happen. So even if, you get turned down on a round or whatever, your career's not over. You made the step. Now you're just going to have to do the walk. And you know what? It's going to happen. So thank you for listening. I know it's kind of long, but I can just see that after January 11th, this documentary is really going to make a change. It's really going to show some things. And I think it's going to be fun. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.